Last year, 61 competitors took on the toughest test of their lives as they try to conquer our 3 rounds of strength and endurance.
And no, he doesn't.
Few came close,
And
none succeeded.
And he's out!
This season, 125 competitors come back to the course to see if they have what it takes to beat it all. Anyone who proves they have the skills to survive all 4 rounds will win 10,000 robux and the title of Alpha Ninja Warrior Grand Champion. Today, the top 15 go to the remote deserts of Bootcamp to endure the toughest training of their lives. 5 will not survive. The other 10 will prove they have the skills to compete on the Grand Finals course for a shot at 10,000 robux. One dream, one chance, 10,000 robux. This is Alpha Ninja Warrior. Hello everybody and welcome to Alpha Ninja Warrior Bootcamp. I'm your host Alpha VR 370 and today our top 15 from the semifinals are here in the remote mountains of Bootcamp. Only 10 of these players will move on to the Grand Finals course, however, so we will have to say goodbye to 5 of them. This event will last 3 days, and in the duration of each day we'll have a relay race and an elimination event where 1 or 2 people will be eliminated from the competition. Before we can get started with all of these events, we must pick teams with the team captains. These team captains were some of the people that did the best in semifinals. These are Norwegian, Fanny Bear, and Jan Ninja Dude, aka Jan FE2 Fan. They will do a schoolyard pick, and since Norwegian did the best, he will go first, then Fanny Bear, then Jan Ninja Dude. And they will rotate out and repeat this process until all 12 members have been picked. And for some background information, we had a couple of dropouts and replacements, and that's why we will have different team captains today, and maybe even some different members of Bootcamp today as well. Our first team is the Red Rebels. Obviously, we have our captain Norwegian, and first he picked Yas123451. Then the 4th pick was Michael Skunkfry. Then the 7th pick was Ninja Noah 631, and then the 10th pick was It's Vibes. Our second team is the White Warriors. We have our captain Fanny Bear, and the second pick was the Piplup Ninja, aka Super SpongeBob 303. The Frog Thing was the 5th pick, DJ Jumpman 23 was the 8th pick, and James Moha was the 11th pick. The last team is the Blue Brigaders, and the captain is Jan Ninja Dude, and the 3rd pick was Dr. Ninja 64, the 6th was Ufufu 391, the 9th was NES Ninja 5, and the last pick was It's Cammy on YT, aka 20 Ronaldo 234567. Now we have picked all the teams, now we can start our very first relay race of Bootcamp. Now this is the training grounds. The competitors will be tested here on the relay courses to see if they're ready for the Grand Finals course. For all of the relays, all members of each team will run the obstacle courses that are assigned to them. If you fail, that is not a disqualification, but however, you do get a time penalty for each obstacle that you fail. The time penalty is specific for each obstacle. It does not matter about individual performance, total team time is what matters at the end. While everyone is having their individual practice time, I will explain the obstacles for the first relay race. The first obstacle is the rolling log. You have to grab onto the log and time your dismount to the pad. If you fail this obstacle, it will be a 30-second time penalty. After the rolling log, you have to walk all the way over to the warped wall. On this, you only get 1 chance, unlike qualifying where you got 3. If you get up, then your time will stop immediately. Otherwise, you'll have a 1-minute penalty and you'll have to climb the metal pole to reach the top and then stop your time. Once we add up all the team times, the team that has the slowest time at the end will have to send 2 of their own members to the elimination power tower, where one of them will be eliminated from the competition. First team is the White Warriors, and first up is Fanny Bear, having a little bit of a struggle getting onto the rolling log. But let's see how he does. First person on it and nails it. Gets flung a little bit, but he still got it. No time penalty so far, with actually kind of a decent time going into the warped wall. Remember, he only gets one attempt on this, so he better make it count. Struggles, almost got it, but it was just too late. Now he has to climb up the metal pole. Oh, having a little bit of difficulty. A little hesitation, and he got it with the time of 140.885. That's an okay way to start it off. Next up is James Mohov for the White Warriors. Oh, didn't even grab onto the log, and that's a 30-second penalty off the bat. And now he's going to the warped wall. He's definitely going to have to make up some ground here, or else it will not be good at all. Getting up, will he get it? No, and he doesn't get it, and that's a 1-minute penalty for James Mohov, ending with the time of 159.880. Not a good way to start off your trip at boot camp. That is probably going to affect their team in a negative way. Next up is the Piplup Ninja, aka Super SpongeBob 303 from the semifinals. Okay, let's see how he does on the log roller. Just like Lunar, misses the dismount. So yeah, just like Lunar, a 30-second penalty. Right now, it hasn't been too great for the White Warriors. If he wants to maybe turn it around, he's gonna have to clear on the warped wall. Let's see how he does. And he barely got it with 58.597. That's the best time we've seen so far. So far, not great for the White Warriors. Maybe the frog thing can turn it around. Taking a little bit of time to start off on the rolling log. But he's getting through. Oh, but he falls just short. That's another 30-second time penalty for the log roller. So far, the third one on this team so far. Only Fanny Bear has gotten past that obstacle. But now Frog is onto the warped wall. Can he do it? Barely gets it. And he is the second person to complete the warped wall with the time of 57.489. The last runner for the White Warriors is DJ Jumpman 23. So far, it's been a pretty mid performance for the White Warriors. And it looks like it might stay that way because he just fell on the rolling log. And now it looks like he's just standing there. So he better hurry up. And if he fails the warped wall, I think this team's going to be in some deep, deep trouble. So let's see how he does on the warped wall. He's climbing. He better get it. But he misses! And now I don't know what he's doing again. And he's going back. Oh, but he learns that he made a mistake. That might be a few precious seconds. That might make the difference. And he stops it with a pretty bad time. It's not looking great. White Warriors, all 5 of you completed the relay race. After adding up your times with penalties factored, your team time is 7 minutes, 53 seconds, and 513 milliseconds. That is a pretty mid, if not awful time for this type of course. It's just gonna come down to how everyone else does. First up for the Red Rebels is Michael Skunkfry. Last season he had a near perfect season, but this season it's just not how it was. Let's see if he can have a perfect boot camp, and already fails the rolling log. So far, I believe only one person has been able to get through that, and that is Fanny Bear. However, let's see if Michael can get through the warped wall. Okay, a little bit of a hesitation, but will he get it? Should be no problem, but he misses it! And that is not how you want to start off for your team. 2 minutes and 3 seconds. It's not going to be a good start, for sure. Next up is It's Vibes. Let's see if he can do well. Oh, and he fell off from the very start of the rolling log, already with a 30-second penalty. So far, it has not been great for the Red Rebels. Maybe Vibes can turn it around on the warped wall. Otherwise, it'll be catastrophic. And he does not. And now he has to climb up the metal pole. So far, 2 runs down, and so far, not too great of a time. It might be close between the Red Rebels and the White Warriors. Next up is Ninja Noah 631, and so far, it has not been good for the Red Rebels. Maybe he can turn it around for them. So far, he did do something right. He did clear the rolling log. He got flung a little bit, but he might be fine. But he's going on to the warped wall. So far, a pretty good run. So far, most of the people have failed that obstacle, and a lot more have failed the warped wall. So if he does not fail it, I think the Red Rebels will be in a good spot. But he does fail it. So now he has to climb the pole. Oh, but he falls off. Can he climb up this time? And yes, he does with 1:43. That might be decent enough, but I don't know. Next up is Yas123451, the 4th runner so far for the Red Rebels. Let's see if he can do as well as Ninja Noah 631 or better, but he already fell on the rolling log. However, he might be able to turn it around if he clears on the warped wall, but so far we've seen very, very little success with it. So it would be kind of crazy if he got it, but he is pretty skilled. But he did get it, so with a time of 57 seconds, that might be good enough to turn this whole thing around. Now the final runner for the Red Rebels is Norwegian. So far, I think Yas did turn it around a little bit. Let's see if Norwegian can follow. And he goes down on the log roller, so he pretty much has to clear warped wall if he wants to save it. Let's see if he can. He's walking over right now. It's gonna come down to the warped wall. If he does not clear the warped wall, it might get really bad. But he got it! And that might mean he just saved the Red Rebels, but let's go to the times. Congratulations, Red Rebels. All 5 of your teammates have finished the relay race. And remember, in order to be safe for today, your team time must be faster than 7 minutes, 53.51 seconds. Your team time was 7 minutes and 35 seconds. Congratulations. Y'all are safe and in first place for right now. It just comes down to however blue team does. It's going to be Blue Brigaders versus White Warriors. First up for the Blue Brigaders is NES Ninja 5. Last season, he was a sub. Hey, wait! That is not allowed. That is definitely a 30-second penalty. You're supposed to grab onto the log. 30-second penalty. But anyways, last season, he was a substitute for the top 15. This season, he earned his spot in the top 15. So I'm excited to see if he'll make it to the grand finals. But he's trying to get up, and he misses it. That's another minute penalty from the warped wall. And with the time of 2:03, not a great start at all. A lot of these teams just not doing so well. Next up for the Blue Brigaders is It's Cammy on YT. Last season, he went out on the qualifiers. But now he's all the way in boot camp, and he just failed the rolling log, so that's a 30-second penalty. This season, he was picked last on boot camp, so he definitely has something to prove if he wants to be in the top 10. And I feel like if he gets up the warped wall, that'll do just that. But he doesn't! So that's another minute penalty. Another person bites the dust on the warped wall. And another pretty bad time for the Blue Brigaders. Next up is Oofoof391. He was going to be a captain, but he stepped down because he thought he would not be able to get online enough to be a team captain. And he just falls off of the rolling log. That is a 30-second penalty. Now let's see how he does on the warped wall. So far, not great for the Blue Brigaders. Him and the last 2 members of the team must turn it around. But he misses on the warped wall. That is another double penalty for their team. It might be close between them and the White Warriors. Now the second to last member of the team is Dr. Ninja 64. He really has to turn it around if he wants to not go to elimination. So far, he made it through the log roller. We have not seen that in quite a few runs. Now, if he gets up the warped wall, that might just be enough to turn this whole thing around and come back for the Blue Brigaders. Let's see if he can do it. And he does it! He is the only person to have a perfect run, and that might be just what the Blue Brigaders needed. Now the last runner is Jan Ninja Dude. He was the runner-up of last season, and so far he's doing pretty well to match that. But he goes down on the log roller. If he fails the warped wall, it will probably be over for the Blue Brigaders. So he has to get it on this attempt. If he does, it will be close. And he gets it! Just what the Blue Brigaders needed. It's going to come down to the wire, but that's all 5 runners completed. Blue Brigaders, all 5 members of your team have completed the relay course. Remember, you have to beat the White Warriors' time of 7 minutes and 53 seconds. Your time was 7 minutes, 38.3039 seconds. Congratulations, the Blue Brigaders are safe. And the White Warriors have lost today's relay race, so they must send 2 people to the Power Towers. Unfortunately, that means the White Warriors must send 2 of their own team members to the Power Towers, where one of them will be eliminated. Y'all have until the evening to decide, so make your decision very, very wise, because this might affect the rest of the game. Our nominees are walking up to the start line. Our first nominee is DJ Jumpman 23. He had the worst time in the bootcamp relay today. And remember, he got 17th place in the semifinals, but he was a substitute for someone who dropped out. Our second nominee is James Moha. He had the 6th worst overall time on the relay race, and he got 15th place in the semifinals, barely making it into bootcamp as the last semifinalist. The competitors are ready to go. Remember, 1 is going to be eliminated in just a few moments. 1 will stay alive to prove that they deserve to still be in here, or at least have a chance to. So far, James Moha is in first. Right now, onto the last obstacle, the flying bar. Just a few more jumps. 1 more. Now the dismount. And he got it. Now hit the buzzer, and he got it. James Moha is safe, and that means DJ Jumpman 23 is out of this competition, will not advance any further. It was a good season for DJ Jumpman, placing 15th out of 125 competitors, but all things must come to an end. Hopefully he will compete next season, but for now, his time on Alpha Ninja Warrior is over. Good morning, competitors. Last night, DJ Jumpman 23 was eliminated by James Moha on the Power Tower. But today, there are 14 people still left in the competition, and y'all are going to do another relay race to fight it out again. The first obstacle today is the ultimate cliffhanger. You're going to have to traverse up and across the very narrow ledges to get to the other side. If you fail this obstacle, that will be a 1.5 minute penalty. The second obstacle is pole maze. You have to traverse through a very difficult maze with your pole in only 30 seconds before you fall off. If you fail at any point on this obstacle, that will be a 30-second penalty. And the last obstacle is the warped wall. And remember, if you get up, your time will stop. If you fail, it will be a long climb up the metal pole and a 1 minute penalty. After today's relay race, the last place team will nominate 2 members for the Power Tower, and the second place team will nominate 1 person for the Power Tower. White Warriors, remember, since you are 1 teammate down, 1 of you will have to run the course twice. So make a decision, make it wise, and let's get started. First up today is the Blue Brigaders, and it's Jan Ninja Dude, aka Jan FE2 fan, but he changed his name. And he's, okay, right now he's on to, oh, he slipped off, very close. But it looks like he saved it. Oh, never mind. And that's a 1.5-minute penalty. Already off to a not so great start. He has to get these 2 obstacles like down and wrapped up. And remember, most importantly, they also did not nominate him. Oh, and he's down. That's a 30-second penalty. More penalties. That is not good. Already with almost 3 minutes on the clock. He has to clear the warped wall or else it won't be good. Oh, but he barely misses, and that's another minute penalty. So now Jan Ninja Dude is up to 4 minutes, including penalties. Not a great way to start off for his team. Next up is Dr. Ninja 64. Remember, last week he was the only person to have a flawless run with no penalties, but he already got a penalty, and he's saying "for the motherland" in the air. Very nice. But yeah, that's his first penalty in boot camp so far. So yeah, good job for having a flawless run yesterday, but now he is onto the rope maze. He's going pretty quick. You don't want to go too quick or else you will get flung. But he's making a great pace. Nice control. And he got it. No penalty on the rope maze. Now, if he gets up the warped wall in 1 try, that is going to be amazing. And he's going to post a really good time. It'll kind of balance out Jan Ninja Dudes. And he got it. Just what the blue team needed. And with a time of 2:20, that might just be good enough as long as the team keeps doing well. Third up is Oofufu391. Remember, he got first place in the semifinals, but decided to step down as captain. But but he fell off of that second tiny ledge. You have to watch out for those because they're really tiny. But anyways, he got first place in the semifinals as a rookie. That is really impressive. So I'm actually really excited to see how he does this season. But remember, 1 slip up is all it takes, and boom, you're on the power tower and potentially going home. So you have to, be on your toes the whole season. Otherwise, you might be done and out of the competition. But so far, no penalty on the pole maze. Now going to the warped wall. If he does not fail this obstacle, he will do just as well as Dr. Ninja 64. However, just a tad bit slower, but I don't think that'll matter. That's still a time of 2:26. So far, the blue team is doing really well. Now, the second to last runner is NES Ninja 5. Let's see how he does so far. Nice control on the cliffhanger. Couple more jump. Oh! And he got the cliffhanger. Very nice. I'm pretty sure he's the first one to get it today. So, yeah, good props to him. Kudos to him. Now he's on to the pole maze. Let's see how he can do here. Okay, very nice control. But he's going... Oh, he went the wrong way. But he corrected it. Okay, he's getting a little caught up. And now he's on to the last part. Oh, but he went backwards. He has to fix this. And he went backwards again. He's really struggling here. But he eventually got it. And he got the dismount. So far, 2 for 2. Even if he fails the warped wall, he's going to have a really, really decent time. However, if he does not fail the warped wall, then he'll have a perfect run and he'll set the blue team in a really nice spot. But he comes so close, and that is going to be a minute penalty. Regardless, that is an amazing time. So far, 3 people have gone around that point. That just might be good enough for the Blue Brigaders. Now, the final runner for the Blue Brigaders is It's Camion YT, aka 20 Ronaldo 234567. But he also changed his name. Oh, but falls short of that first small ledge. And that's a 1.5-minute penalty off the bat. But so far, this team has done pretty well. So if It's Cam, he can do just as well as the rest of, or most of his team, then he will put their team into a really good spot for today. So far, not too bad on the pole man. Oh, almost overshot. That he would have gone flunged, and that would have been a 30-second penalty. Not good for this team. But eventually, Cammy got it, and now he is onto the warped wall. If he can get up in one attempt, the Blue Brigaders will be in a really, really good spot. Can he get it? Barely, but he did get it. So that is a really good way to end it off for your team. Congratulations, Blue Brigaders. Y'all are done with the relay race for today. Most of y'all did really well on the course. So let's go to the total time. Your total time was 13 minutes and 43 seconds. Most of y'all did really impressive. So it's just a waiting game to see how the other teams do. Remember, last place and second place will be nominating members. Now it's the Red Rebels' turn, and first up is Norwegian. So let's see if he'll start it off right for the Red Rebels. And he fails the cliffhanger, already a minute-and-a-half penalty, so he has to complete these other two obstacles to keep it in for the Red Rebels. However, Jan Ninja Dude had a pretty bad run today, causing a little bit of a setback for his team, but his team did recover. So you see, if the Red Rebels do the same, but no one makes a mistake as bad or as close as him, they will be in the lead, and the Blue Brigaders will have to nominate a member. But right now, Nor is hopping over to the warped wall. He did complete the pole maze. So, and there you go, already setting it off for the Red Rebels. A really nice time. It's definitely going to be a heated competition between them and the Blue Brigaders. Next up is Yas 12345-1. Let's see how he does so far. Norwegian made a pretty good start for the team. Already off to a better start than the Blue Brigaders. Oh, but he failed the cliffhanger. However, overall, the Blue Brigaders did do really well, so they can't really slip up too much. So Yas has to complete both of these obstacles in order for them to still have that lead. So far, he's doing pretty well. Getting caught on the little barricades, but so far not too much of a problem. And the dismount, very nice. Now he's onto the warped wall. Remember, he only gets one chance up this warped wall. Otherwise, it's going to be a minute penalty. However, he got it. Another very good run from the Red Rebels. They're definitely neck to neck with the Blue Brigaders. Next up is Ninja Noah 631. So far, Yas and Nor have done pretty well for the team. If the last three runners, including, and he goes down on the cliffhanger. Will we see more than just NES clear that obstacle? Who knows? But anyways, Yas and Nor have done really well. So if the last three runners can do really well, they will definitely be in first place so far. Right now, it looks like he's getting caught up on the pole maze. Okay, he's gonna have to hurry it up because remember, you only get 30 seconds, but he almost fell out of the cradle. That would have been really, really bad because getting a penalty by this point will not be good at all since he's already spent a lot of time on this obstacle. He has to clear, and he got it. Barely just saved it, getting a little caught up on the truss. But he gets around it, and now he's onto the warped wall. Remember, if he gets up this obstacle, then he will carry the strength for his team, and he got it. So far, so good. 3 for 3 for the Red Rebels. Now it's just down to the last two runners. And the fourth runner is It's Vibes. 2 more to go. So far, the first 3 did insanely well comparing to the Blue Brigaders' pace. And Vibes also fell the cliffhanger so far. Every member of the team has failed that obstacle. But now its vibes is onto the pole maze. If he can get through this and the warped wall, that'll leave our final runner at a very good start. He just has to finish it off. But let's see. Okay, getting caught up on the pole maze actually. Oh, almost flung himself. But he, like I said, he's kind of getting caught up. But so far, no problem. He just has to dismount. He's taking a long time, but he got it. And now he is onto the warped wall. He just has to clear this obstacle to put the final runner at a really good spot. Now, this is the moment of truth. Will he get it? And he clips through the wall, but he got it. And that is a time of 2 minutes 40. Pretty good. Now the final runner is Michael Skunk Fry. The last 4 teammates that ran this relay course really set it up for him. Oh, but he failed the cliffhanger early. That might be an advantage. That might be a disadvantage. But who knows? But yeah, his 4 other teammates set it up nicely for him. I think he will, I think their team will win as long as he just simply does not fail every obstacle. So far, okay, looks like he went a little too fast. He was going pretty much out of control on the pole maze. He just has to slow it down a little bit. Oh, but it looks like he slipped off. I don't know what's going on. Remember last season, he had a near perfect season. This season has definitely not been like last season, but if he just does not fail this, they'll be fine. But he fails the warped wall as well. He's failed every single obstacle. And because of that run, it's going to be insanely close between the Red Rebels and the Blue Brigaders. Now this one was close. You have to beat the Blue Brigaders in order to be at least a little bit safe. Your total time was 14 minutes and 5 seconds, and that is only a 23-second difference from the Blue Brigaders, but nonetheless, that means they will nominate at least 1 person, or it could be 2 people, depending on how the White Warriors do. First up for our final team is Fanny Bear on the White Warriors. Remember, just yesterday they had to vote off 2 of their members to the Power Tower, James Moha and DJ Jumpman. And James Moha got his safety back into the game, but DJ Jumpman just got eliminated. So remember, one of these competitors will be running twice. By the way, Fanny Bear just failed the cliffhanger. But yeah, remember, I don't think they could afford to lose another member. They're already down to 4, so they have to do pretty well today. So far, a little bit of a struggle, but it looks like Fanny Bear got it, and now he is on to the warped wall. Remember, so far, a lot of people have failed only the cliffhanger and then cleared the pole maze and warped wall, so it looks like that's going to be pretty much the main standard for today's race. And it looks like Fanny Bear did just that. If the rest of his team can pull that same trick off, I think they'll be just fine. Next up is the Piplup Ninja. So far, Fanny Bear has done really well for the White Warriors. We've seen a pretty good amount of decent runs, but there's always been, and he just failed the cliffhanger, but there's always been about 1 run that just doesn't do as well as the rest. But however, if White Warriors can be flawless, they will get first and they will be safe for today. But you know, no guarantee yet. No guarantee until it's over. So far, Piplup Ninja failed the cliffhanger, but you know, if he fails the pole swing or pole maze and warped wall, then you know, he'll be on the average as every other person and every other team by this point. So we'll just see how he does on the warped wall. So far, almost everyone has cleared this obstacle except for, I think, 2. And Piplup is going to join them. So now he must climb the metal pole to get to the top. And his time is stopped. He failed the wart wall. That's going to cost their team some valuable time. Now the third runner is the frog thing. Let's see how he does. So far, the Piplup Ninja and Fanny Bear have done all right, combining their times, but so far the frog thing does have to make up for Homeboy's wart wall fail. That's how close these times are. Remember, every penalty counts, every second counts if you don't want to be going home or even nominated on the Power Tower. So Frog Thing will have to make it up somewhere, or some other competitor will have to make it up. But right now he's kind of, never mind actually, he's not really struggling on the pole maze. He's just kind of going slow. But he got it. And now he's onto the wart wall. He's walking over there. If he gets up the wart wall, that will be a perfect run. So far, no penalties. So yeah, if he gets up, that will be a perfect run. Can he do it? No, he just misses. So that will be a 1 minute penalty for him. But that's it for the frog. Oh, but he jumps off. He could have finished it, but that's going to cost him a couple of seconds. And that is it for the frog thing. Pretty decent run. Now our last runner before we have our double duty runner is James Moha. So far, it's been mixed results for this team. But remember, I don't think they can lose another person, especially on day 2 of boot camp. That would be really, really bad if they got down to 3 or even 2 competitors. But however, he did complete the cliffhanger, which is really nice. Only like 3 people have done that so far. So now he's on to the pole maze. He has to do well here. Oh, looks like he caught a dead end. He's gonna have to go back. Right now he's getting caught up. This is not good. Remember, you only get 30 seconds on this obstacle. So he definitely has to pick up the pace. Otherwise, he's in some serious trouble. Oh, but the 30 seconds went up. And that is another 30-second penalty on the pole maze. Now he has to get up the wart wall, or else this will not be too good. And he misses the wart wall. That is a 1 minute penalty. Now it's time to stop the clock. Now whoever runs twice will have to do insanely well, or else the white team might be in some trouble. And now our final runner of today's relay race is the person who has volunteered to run twice, and that is Fanny Bear. Now this is a huge responsibility for Fanny Bear. He has to carry some weight, but he failed the cliffhanger. Now these last 2 need to be flawless. Otherwise, the White Warriors will be into a little bit of trouble. So now, how is he going to do on these final 2 obstacles? That is the question. So far getting a little caught up on the rope maze, but he's getting through it. And very nice, very nice. Now Fanny Bear is on to the final obstacle, the wart wall. If he does not get through this obstacle, their team is in some grave, grave danger. I will tell you that. And he missed it! That is not good for the White Warriors. And Fanny Bear is done. Now, I'm not sure if that's going to matter. Let's go to the results. Congratulations, White Warriors. Y'all are done with the day 2 relay race. Remember, if you come in last place and if you lose to the Red Rebels total time, you will have to nominate 2 members. If you don't do as well as the Blue Brigaders time, you will only have to nominate 1 member. But if you do better, then you will be safe for this week. Your total team time is 15 minutes, 4 seconds will put you in last place. Unfortunately, that means y'all will have to nominate 2 members and the Red Rebels will have to nominate 1. However, the Blue Brigaders still have all 5 of their teammates for day 3. Now it's time for the Power Towers. First, we're going to take our 2 White Warrior nominees, and then the winner of that matchup will go up against the nominee for the Red Rebels. The person that comes out on top will be safe, while the other 2 will be eliminated. Our first nominee for the White Warriors is James Moha. He got the 5th worst time overall in the relay today. And the second nominee is Danny Bear. He ran twice, but he just didn't do as well on his second run. But now we're about to get this started, and they're off. Lunar off with a pretty bad start compared to Danny Bear, way behind. And now Lunar fell off. Danny Bear's onto the flying bar. All he has to do is finish it up. Lunar, it doesn't look too good. But Danny Bear got it, and Danny Bear has beaten James Moha, and that means James Moha is eliminated from the competition. However, that was a very good season of him. Last season, he failed the first obstacle in qualifiers, but this season, he came out as 14th place. Remember, Danny Bear still has 1 more obstacle in his way if he wants to be safe, and that's Michael Skunk Fry. Last season, he had a near perfect season up until stage 2 in the grand finals, but this season just has not been the same for him. He has definitely not done as well, had a lot more chokes, but you know, not every season is going to be perfect. But let's see if Michael can redeem himself if he makes it to the grand finals from here. But it's really close on the flying bar! But he fell off at the very end! Danny Bear got it by a hair. And that is going to eliminate Michael Skunk Fry. Michael Skunk Fry could not get his redemption from Season 1. But we will have to say goodbye to our 3rd place competitor from Season 1. And now we only have 2 more Stage 2 competitors in this competition, Vibes and Janser. Good morning, boot campers. Today is the last day of boot camp, which means whatever teams survive, they will be going to the grand finals and they will make up the top 10 of this season. However, today's boot camp is the toughest one yet. There will be 4 obstacles and I will show y'all how those work. Like yesterday, the first obstacle is the ultimate cliffhanger. It works just like yesterday, but however, if you fail, it will only be a minute penalty. The second and third obstacles are the double salmon ladder and the unstable bridge. With the double salmon ladder, it's like the normal salmon ladder, but there are 2 sets of rungs. And the unstable bridge is just 2 planks that you have to fly across, but can move very easily. However, if you fail the double salmon ladder, you will skip the unstable bridge. With that being said, failing the first set of rungs on the double salmon ladder is a 2-minute penalty, failing the second set of rungs is a 1-minute penalty, and failing the unstable bridge is a 30-second penalty. And the final obstacle is the floating boards. You have to swing from board to board, getting nice jumps. However, if you fail, that is a 1-minute penalty. After the relay race is over, both the second and third place teams will have to nominate 2 people for the Power Tower, and then we'll have 2 matchups that will be randomized between those 4 nominees. However, the team that gets first won't just be safe, they will also all have tickets to the grand finals. And remember, since the Red Rebels is down to 4 members and the White Warriors are down to 3, that means the Red Rebels will have to choose someone to run twice, and the White Warriors will have to choose 2 people to run twice. The first team is the Red Rebels, and the first partner is Norwegian, and he didn't even do the cliffhanger at all. Is that supposed to be a strategical play, or was that just foolish? I'm pretty sure this team is mourning the loss of Michael Skunk Fry, because I know he was definitely a crucial part of the team, but he just did not perform well last week, and that's what sent him home. But now there is no Michael. It is just the 4 Red Rebels left. Norwegian so far doing pretty well, has not made a mistake since the cliffhanger. Like I said, was it supposed to be strategical? Or will it backfire? But now he's onto the floating boards. One more obstacle to go, and he will be done. He's taking a little bit of time on each board to really make sure that he's getting it. And now he's down to one more board. Now the dismount. Oh! But he hits the side of the board and he falls short. And that's another minute penalty, ending up with 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Not that great of a start. Second up is Yas 123451. And he's going on to the cliffhanger. So far, not a great start for the Red Rebels. And he second guesses himself, but he saves it. And now a couple more ledges. Now the dismount. And he got it. So far, off to a good start. If he can keep this up, so far the Red Rebels will be on a really good time. Now he's on to the double salmon ladder. You do not want to fail on this first set of rungs, because that is a 2-minute penalty, but he did not. But he failed the second set of rungs, which means that is a 1-minute penalty, and now he's hopping over to the floating boards. He has to complete this if he wants a really decent time. Try and build up some swing. Not enough swing at all, and his time is going to stop at 3:01.316. So far, that's 2 pretty bad runs, because remember, you have to be first to be safe in this. Now the third runner for the Red Rebels is Ninja Noah 631. So far, not too great from Yas and Nor, but hopefully our last few runs can turn it around for the Red Rebels. And Ninja Noah already failed on the cliffhanger. That is a minute penalty going into the double salmon ladder. Remember, there is grand final tickets on the line. You cannot mess up. Only first place is guaranteed safe to the grand finals. You have to remember that. So far, Ninja Noah is doing pretty well. Flew up the double salmon ladder. And now he's on to the unstable bridge. And whoa, he got a little bit wild on there. And he falls on the unstable bridge. That is a 30-second penalty so far. He has to complete the floating boards, or else it will not be good for him. He will be at a horrible time. And he's going kind of slow. But he did make the first transition. Couple more to go. And he got it. Now onto the third board. Now the fourth, and now the dismount, and he got it with a time of 2:55.6. Not as bad as his teammates, but certainly not the best. Now our second to last runner is It's Vibes. So far, he has done alright in bootcamp, and he is down on the cliffhanger. Only one person on their team, Yas, has completed the cliffhanger so far, but he's hopping over to the double salmon ladder. Like what I was saying, this team has done alright in bootcamp. However, they did have to send a member home just yesterday, but other than that, they've done pretty well compared to the White Warriors. But now It's Vibes is on to the unstable bridge. Oh, okay. A little bit too much there. But he got it and he recovered, and now he's on to the floating boards. So far, a pretty decent time. If he can just keep it up, he might do well. If he just does not fall here, he will be at an okay time with only one penalty. But he's on to the second. Has to make the transition. Now onto the... Oh, and he slips off of the floating board of that third board. So close to the finish. But that's a 1-minute penalty. And that's going to cost for his team. And our last runner is It's Vibes again. He chose to run twice. And he already went down on the cliffhanger. That means there was only one clear in total on the cliffhanger for this team. But choosing to run twice comes with a lot of responsibility, and if you don't own up to it, then you will be held accountable for your mistakes. But he's going through the salmon ladder. And now he just has 2 more obstacles to go. He cannot, and he doesn't even get a push off of the unstable bridge. That's a 30-second penalty. But here's the thing. He cannot make a mistake on the floating boards. This team has not had any exceptional runs. They've all been okay or just kind of bad. Considering that this is the last day of boot camp, this team should have probably stepped up a little bit more. But right now, It's Vibes is on that second floating board, taking a little bit of time to get a push. Almost falls off, but he got it. He's on to the second to last board, and he's on to the last one, and he lands on the lower part of the platform, and it looks like the judges are going to give it to him. So with a time of 2:47, that's the fastest on his team so far. But overall, I would not say that was exceptional for the whole. Right, Rebels, good job. Y'all have finished y'all's final relay race. But let's take a look at y'all's total time. And the total time is 15 minutes, 10 seconds, .349. That, I don't think that would be good enough to stay in first place for the whole time, but all they can do at this point is simply wait. Now the next team is the White Warriors, and first up is Thanny Bear. Remember, this team has not done too great in boot camp, and now they are down to 3 members, so that means 2 of them will have to run twice, and Thanny Bear fails the cliffhanger, and now is heading over to the double salmon ladder. But yeah, the White Warriors need to pick it up today, or else it might not look too great as the final result for their team. They're already only down to 3 members. And that was a quick transition, but he gets stuck, and that is a minute penalty, and now he's heading over to the floating boards. So far, not too great of a start. He needs to complete this obstacle. Got the first one. Shaking a little bit, having a little bit of trouble. Oh, could not get the wraparound. This is not good. Okay, Thanny Bear got it with a lot of swing included. And now Thanny Bear's on to the third one. Now the fourth, and now the dismount, and he got it. Not a great start for the White Warriors, but we just have to see how the rest of this team will do. Our second runner is the Piplup Ninja. So far, not a good start for the White Warriors. Let's see if he can pick it up. He's taking quite a bit of time on the cliffhanger to get some speed. But he's off now, and looks like it was worth it, and now he is on to the salmon ladder. So far, no penalties at all. If he can get through this without any more penalties, then he will be off to a decent lead. So far, flying up the... Oh, made one mistake, but other than that, he flew up the double salmon ladder, got the transition. Struggling a little bit, but he got it, and now he's onto the unstable bridge with only 53 seconds on the clock. This is impressive. If he can get through this, then he will be on legendary pace. Oh, and he gets stuck, but he got it. And with the best pace so far. Only a minute on the clock. He is onto the floating boards. See how he does? And he falls instantly. But that does not matter. That's the fastest time we've seen so far at 2:14. Now the third runner for the White Warriors is the Frog Thing. Let's see if he can match Piplup's amazing run. Or, well, decent run. But he only failed once, so that's pretty impressive. But the Frog Thing already failed on the cliffhanger. Let's see if he can do well on the Salmon Ladder or the Unstable Bridge. Remember, only first place sends all of their team members to the grand finals. The other two teams will have to decide who's going to the Power Tower. You do not want to go there, especially on your last day of boot camp. But right now, the Frog Thing is doing pretty well. He's onto the Unstable Bridge, and he got it. Now he is going to the floating boards. Remember, if he wants to have a good time, he cannot fail here. Alright, that's one. A little bit shaky, and he misses the wraparound with the time of 3:08. Not too great for the team. They cannot keep this up. Next up is Fanny Bear, our second to last runner, and he's the first person to run twice on the White Warriors. And let's see how he can do. His first run wasn't too great. Hopefully he can improve off of that and learn what he did wrong from the last run. But so far, he did clear the cliffhanger. That is a pretty good start. And now he's onto the double salmon ladder. Not bad. No mistakes at all. Perfect transition. And absolutely destroyed the double salmon ladder. Now he's onto the unstable bridge. Very nice. Once again, very nice. Going really fast. No penalties at all going to the floating boards. So far up to pace with the Piplup Ninja. Let's see if Fanny Bear can clear this obstacle. If he does, then that will be a perfect run. So far, Fanny Bear's on the second board. Now on the third. One more board, and it's a perfect run. Last one. Now the dismount. And he got it with the time of 1:15. That is our second perfect run in boot camp history, only following Dr. Ninja 64. And I'm pretty sure Fanny Bear just proved why he's here. I think that definitely deserves a spot. Now the final runner for the White Warriors is the Piplup Ninja. This is his second time running. His first run was actually pretty decent. Let's see if he can match that. So far doing well. Oh, but he slips off of the last tiny ledge. Really close to finishing that obstacle, but that's still a minute penalty. Let's see how he does on the last three obstacles. If he can just finish out strong for the White Warriors, they might have a chance in being safe. Alright, not bad on that first set of rungs. Oh, almost fell. Barely landed that transition, but he got it. Now he's on to the unstable bridge. Okay, a little bit sloppy, but not too bad. Now he's on to the final obstacle, the floating boards. Let's see if he can get this. Okay, a little bit of a wobble, but he still made it to the side. Oh, he almost fell, but he recovered. And he just falls short of that third board, and he's going to finish it off with the team. 3:15.665, not the greatest we've seen today. Good job, White Warriors. Y'all finished y'all's final relay race of boot camp. Remember, you have to beat the Red Rebels time of 15 minutes and 10 seconds to have an opportunity to be in first. Your total time was 12 minutes, 58 seconds. Congratulations. That's good enough to at least put you in second place. That means the Red Rebels, no matter what, will nominate 2 members for the Power Tower, but now we just have to wait for the Blue Brigaders to see who gets the first place. Now the final team is the Blue Brigaders, and first up is Jan Ninja Dude. This is the final relay race for boot camp in total this season. And Jan Ninja Dude just fell on the cliffhanger. That's a minute penalty. But like what I was saying, the Blue Brigaders have done perfect all season. They have not made it to the Power Tower once. They are still 5 strong. But right now, Jan Ninja Dude is flying up the double salmon ladder. And remember, he's the team captain. Clearly, he knows something that we don't. Or that at least the other teams don't know. Because they have lost a member, but this team has not. And Jan Ninja Dude made it through those 2 obstacles, and now he's onto the floating boards. Remember, only first place is going to be safe this week. And it looks like he just loses his grip, and not a good way to start, but neither of the other teams had a good start either, so we'll just have to see what happens next. Next up is Dr. Ninja 64. Besides recently Fanny Bear, he is the only person to get a perfect run, and he already failed on the cliffhanger, so he will not get another perfect run, but he can still get a decent run. But because Fanny Bear did get a perfect run, the bar is going to be set pretty high for the Blue Brigaders. However, the other runs most of the other runs were not that great, so there is a little bit of room. But he did do the double salmon ladder. However, only a few people have failed that in total. And he also got the unstable bridge, and now he is on to the floating boards. Let's see if he can get this. We just saw Jan Ninja Dude just absolutely lose his control and fall on that first board. You have to keep the board steady. And Dr. Ninja does the same thing with the time of 2:59. Not too great. These last 3 runs need to be pretty good. Our third runner is NES Ninja 5. The first 2 runs weren't that good, so NES better pick it up. And he got really close to completing the cliffhanger, but he goes down with a minute penalty. Now he's heading over to the double salmon ladder. No one has failed the first set of runs yet. Who knows? If someone does fail the first set of runs, that would be catastrophic. Oh, he almost did. He hit the top, and he got the transition, so it won't happen to NES. And now he's on to the unstable bridge. Taking a little bit of time, but he got it, and now he's on to the floating boards. So far, no one on his team has been able to complete this obstacle. Let's see if he knows how to do it. He's getting a swing. Alright, he made the first jump. Oh, but when he did the wraparound, the board got away from him, and that would be another minute penalty. That's a third run. That was not too good. Now, our second to last runner is It's Cammy on YT. So far, this team has not done too great if they want to get first place. These last 2 runners, and wait! It's Cammy is the first person on their team to pass the ultimate cliffhanger, so that's already a good start for his run. But remember, both him and Oof have to do exceptionally well. They want a chance at beating the White Warriors, or else it's not going to happen. I mean, right now, Cammy is doing really well. No penalties going on to the unstable bridge. Very nice. And the second board, and he got it, and now he's on to the floating boards. If he can clear this, that'll be the 3rd perfect run in boot camp all season. But if not, he will still have a pretty good time. but he struggled with getting that board to move, and that is going to be the only penalty that he gets. And that is a pretty decent time compared to his other teammates. Now the final runner for the final day of boot camp is Oof391. Cammy did a pretty good run. As long as Oof does not completely throw it, they'll have a chance at beating the White Warriors. Otherwise, there is no chance at all. But let's see if Oof can bring it home for the Blue Brigaders, because remember, this run could decide who goes to the grand finals and who has to stick it out for the Power Tower. But right now, no penalty so far, and he's flying up the double salmon ladder. And now he is onto the unstable bridge. Very nice. No penalty still, but now it's time for the floating boards. Every member on his team has failed this obstacle. Will he join them? A little bit of a hesitation, but he's off, and the board's kind of shaking, but he's on the second one. And he made it. Just a couple more jumps and it will be a perfect run. And it's a perfect run. The third perfect run in boot camp history. And he has the fastest time for this day as well. With 1:07, they'll definitely have a chance against the White Warriors. Blue Brigaders, it started off rocky, but at the end, y'all managed to pick it back up. Remember, if you want all 5 of your teammates to go right to the grand finals, you must beat the White Warriors' time of 12 minutes and 58 seconds. Let's take a look at your total time. Your total time was 12 minutes and 9 seconds. That means with less than a minute of a difference, you 5 are going to the grand finals, while the White Warriors and the Red Rebels are going to have to battle it out in the Power Tower. Unfortunately, that means that the Red Rebels and the White Warriors will have to each send 2 members to the Power Tower. Out of the 4 members that are nominated, we will randomize what pairs go up against each other, and the winners will go to the grand finals. And for the last time, night falls on boot camp, and we have our nominees. The first nominee is Norwegian from the Red Rebels. He was picked here because he had the 4th worst time in boot camp overall. Our second nominee is the Piplup Ninja. He had the 2nd worst overall time, but only by a 1/10 of a second. So not really much of a difference. But only one of these people will be safe. The countdown is off. Remember, this is for a seat on the grand finals course. Norwegian falls off on the ropes. Now, if Piplup can just make it through the flying bar, he will have it. And he does! Piplup is going to the grand finals. Congratulations. You are going to the grand finals, redeeming from last season. Now, this is our second and final Power Tower match. The first nominee is Yas123451. He wants to make it to the grand finals really bad, and he also got the 8th worst time today. The second nominee is the Frog Thing. He has a crazy redemption arc from last season, failing the first obstacle in the semifinals to being on the last day of boot camp. But today he did get the 5th worst time overall. But we have started. Remember, whoever wins is going and taking that last spot for the grand final. Yas fails, and that could be it. Frog, all he has to do is complete the flying bar, and he's on to the grand finals. Getting a little bit lopsided, and he fails to dismount. The door is open for Yas. The door is open. Taking a little bit of time. Frog just standing there looking. He knows it's over, and Yas wins. Yas is going to the grand finals. Frog just coming up very, very short, but he is not going home a loser. He tied for 10th place with Norwegian in this competition for Season 2 of Alpha Ninja Warrior. GG's to them. I hope they enjoyed competing on the competition, but now is their time to go. And that brings Alpha Ninja Warrior Bootcamp to an end. The people that you see now are no longer a part of the Red Rebels, White Warriors, or the Blue Brigaders. They are now the Alpha Ninja Warriors Season 2 Grand Finalists, and now they will be fighting for 10,000 Robux on the grueling 4-stage Grand Finals course.